Let's talk about cleaning and maintaining your heat press. So you invested in a press, and every time you close this thing and press a shirt, you're making money, but we want to make sure that your money maker keeps making you money by working well. So first, let's talk about cleaning. If your heat press is gotten dirty, let's say you've gotten put a transfer on upside down, maybe you've gotten some residue on the surface of the platen, you want to clean that off. Let's talk about how you go about that first. First, safety is the number one thing. We want you to be safe. Heat press can get hot, upwards 300, 400 degrees. Make sure your heat press is off and make sure it is not hot. You may want to use oven mitts or a safety glove in order to prevent yourself from being burned in this process. Use extra caution and care. Do not burn yourself. Safety first. Second, you need to know whether your heat press is Teflon coated or not Teflon coated. The Hicks heat presses, the ones we recommend, they do not have a Teflon coating. They have an aluminum upper platen. There's no coating on this, so to clean it is different than you would do it with a Teflon coated platen. There's a lot of machines that have that Teflon coating. Typically it's a black coating on the surface of the platen, and it's a non-stick coating, which means it's a little bit easier to clean up. That's a benefit of a Teflon coated platen, is you can clean it easily, and you want to make sure that you have something that's not abrasive. So a soft rag is the best way to go. We have a soft towel here. This is what you would use on a Teflon coated heat platen. You may want to work with it while the Teflon is warm, not hot. Again, be safe, but if it's warm, just use a soft towel like this to clean the surface of your heat platen. Because it's non-stick, it should clean up really easily if you made a whoopsie on it. Now, if you have a Hicks machine like we have, or one that doesn't have a Teflon coated pad, and it's just aluminum, you can use something that's a little bit more aggressive like steel wool. And we actually have a press here that's a little bit dirty. We're going to use steel wool, and we're going to scrub the surface of it with that steel wool to polish it up and clean it up and get all the residue off of the upper platen. The other thing you want to consider to make sure your press is working in proper order after life cycle of every press that you make is to keep your joints lubed up well with oil. And so I have a 3-in-1 oil. It's what Hicks recommends. Check with the manufacturer of your heat press for what type of oil they recommend. But they recommend every 6 months or so that you just go around your press. You can pick this up at Walmart for $2 or $3. It's in any hardware store. And we would just apply this oil to the pins and all the linkage. So we'd go across on the inside, across the linkage points, and just add a little bit of oil to make sure that those connections, those joints are moving freely, so that when you close and open your press, you don't have friction and metal grinding against one another, but it's actually oiled well enough so that you don't have that friction, you don't have that build up, and your press is easy to close, easy to open, and it operates really well cycle after cycle. You don't run into any issues with your press not being maintained properly.